Hello everyone. Today is, well, it's the night of July 4th, 2019, and as I had said in a previous video, I kind of want to do at least a monthly update vlog, at least for my own sake, so this is going to be exactly that, a update at the beginning of the month. Oh my god, that is terrifying. Yeah, hold on while I kill this. Okay, I have now killed it. Looks like one of its legs is still up there. That's kind of disgusting. Yeah, it's dead under this hard drive right now, so I'm gonna leave that there. Just wanna make sure it's really dead. Okay. Anyway, here is an update on what I've got going on down here. So there's a couple new things down here. As you can see, there's 3 Mac Pros. These were recycling finds. One of them is a 1,1. The other 2 are 3,1s. The 3,1s are, let's see, let's start with the 1,1. I think that's the one all the way on the right. That one has 16 gig of RAM. It's a quad-core 2.66, and it's running Snow Leopard. Really nothing special. The one on the left, the 3,1, it's got 20 gigs of RAM, 2600 XT, and a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's a 8-core 2.8, and the one in the middle it's also an 8-core 2.8, but it's got 32 gig of RAM and a GTX 680. So that is quite a performer, and honestly, if I had a need for it, I'd be using it right now, but I don't really need it, so I'm gonna try to sell it. I've already got it listed, got a couple of buyers lined up, but they just need to get back to me on that. So those are, yeah, I should get a little money from those. They're all in really, really good shape. Well, let's go take a look. Yeah, cosmetically, I mean, I know you can only see the front, but they are really, really nice. I think the only issue is with the 1,1. It's got a pretty big single scratch down the side, but you know, otherwise it's not bent. There's no broken pieces. Yeah, nice Mac Pros. What else do I got? I'm trying to think of what is new since the last video. I've got a couple of Dell Optiplexes. I think you've seen these before. These are the 7010s. I think I bought them pretty much in the configuration that I have now put them back in, which is with a pretty mid-range i3, 8 gig of RAM, 500 gig hard drive. Now, I bought these for just general use around my workshop, but I got a deal on another 7010 that is the mini tower form factor, so it looks more like that. It's about 2 wide instead of just the 1, and with that, my goal is to put in which I have over here, a spare GTX 1070 that I've got. A service that I'm trying to provide is DVD and CD ripping and conversion, and also VHS conversion. And part of that, especially with the DVD, involves encoding. In a recent update to Handbrake, I found out that it supports GPU encoding. So I did some testing with the CPUs that I'm going to put into the bigger 7010. It's an i7-3770, and that paired with the GTX 1070, I should backtrack a little bit. The CPU alone does it in, I don't know, 5 minutes, let's say. I know it's probably more than that, but 5 minutes, and if I put in the GPU, it cuts that time almost exactly in half. So, yeah, I'm going to use that as my my rendering PC, I guess you could call it, and also as my Hackintosh, because I had those 7010s hooked up or configured to run High Sierra. So I'm gonna pretty much just put my SSD that I had from that right in the new tower that I'm getting, and I'll have a Hackintosh that also runs Windows, and it'll be my media conversion and rendering PC. It'll do quite a bit. Yeah. So I got those up for sale right now. In the server rack, a little bit has changed. Let's see what we've got here. I've got everything off right now. So right now, as I said, it's July 4th, and it's hot, and it is humid as hell. I actually have my dehumidifier set up here. I've got it turned off right now because I'm trying to make the video, but it's been really struggling to keep it at 60% humidity down here. So it seems like, at least earlier today when I had 2 ACs and a couple of computers, the dehumidifier, the washer, and the dryer, and all this equipment running all at once, that it may not have just been because of my house, but the voltage, wow, that looks like trash. Well, yeah, it was down to 113, and it's supposed to be at 120. I know that there is supposed to be some fluctuation, but going down 7 volts is quite significant. Probably won't damage anything, but I didn't want to risk it, so I've got everything in my rack except for my switch turned off at the moment. That also saved me some power, since I'm running the dehumidifier and the ACs pretty much constantly, because, man, it is awful in here. You like that mouse pad? It's pretty neat. What else? I don't think anything has really changed on my shelves here other than the Mac Pros that are sitting there. Oh, well, let me tell you a little story. So, a couple of months ago now, I went on, I got the Silicon Graphics bug, which pretty much meant I was going to buy anything that was near to me or that was cheap because I really wanted it at the time. So I went on Craigslist and I found this. This is a Silicon Graphics. I mean, obviously it's not hooked up right now, but it's a GDM something 17, which is actually, I think, a 16-inch viewable monitor. And this is one of the best CRTs I've ever owned. Not the best that I've used. I think my old Dell branded Trinitron monitor was better. This is, of course, a Trinitron monitor, branded by Silicon Graphics, but yeah, this thing it's a beast, and it's great. It's also got, interestingly, let's see if I can move it around here. Whoa. It's also got BNC connections on it. So, in theory, I think you could, well, I don't know what you could hook up to there. I don't know if that's the same as composite or component video. But, yeah, I'm actually trying to get rid of this because I don't need it, and I don't really want it anymore. Along with that, I think this is referred to as a graphite monitor because of the color on it. It's a nice graphite color. I also picked up the keyboard that went with it, and pretty much immediately sold it because I had somebody that wanted it. In that box is, what is it? What is in that box? Oh, it's Silicon Graphics Indie, which I picked up for a small amount of money. The guy said it worked completely fine, and he said that he had it booted up to the operating system, all of which was a complete lie, because, well, it didn't turn on, and the power supply was completely dead. And when I did get it to turn on, when I replaced the power supply, the hard drive was suffering from stiction. So when he said he had fired it up just the other day, that must have been many, many years ago, I would assume. So I've got that buyer for that's on its way out. That's why it's in the box. And here we've got an SGI 02. So, excuse me. The 02. I used to own one. I owned it in about 2006 to 2007. This machine is, I think, from around 98, 97. So it was at end of life when it got to me, and unfortunately it was before I was really into computers. However, I used it for quite a long time as just kind of a messing around machine. I never knew the admin password to it, and it pretty much just had a couple of games and demos installed, but I did a lot of screwing around with this thing. And this was actually what I set out to buy when I was looking for some SGI stuff, was an O2 that was in good shape. This one is in pretty good shape. It's got a couple minor issues. It's got a little crack in the plastic there, which isn't going to quite focus. The plastics in general are extremely brittle. Like, the most brittle plastics I've ever encountered, and I've worked on a lot of old Macs. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I used it a little while. I actually had the hard drive from the one that I owned many years ago. I kept it all these years. It's been, wow, 11 years now. I've hung on to it, and I put it in here, but it was dead. There was no saving it, and I tried everything. I hooked it up to another PC. It's detected, it can read the partitions, but I couldn't recover it. So yeah, it's kind of a shame that I kept it for that long and it ended up being dead, but it is what happens. So yeah, I bought this to play around with and kind of decided, yeah, it's not as fun as I remembered it being. Yeah, it's nice to own it though. It's really kind of a cool machine, but I am trying to get rid of this as well. So yeah. Okay, what have we got over here? $10 PC setup. Just messing around with some stuff on it. Got another Aurora R4 that I'm setting up for a friend. It's got a 4820K and a GTX 1070 in it. It's a really nice performer. Plays games very well, but excuse me, keep getting this tickle in my throat. But yeah, I'm doing him a favor, selling it to him for really cheap to get him a gaming PC. And he will definitely appreciate it, so that's nice. And other than that, nothing has really changed over here. Everything's... I don't know if you can hear that in the background if I'm quiet for a second. I can hear fireworks outside. When I was outside earlier, it was loud. It was so loud, with a bunch of booms and crackling from the fireworks today. Yeah, other than that, not much to speak of. I almost kicked this thing. I'm really afraid of picking this thing up, hoping it's not still alive. Yeah, that is about it for now. I probably had a bunch of things in here that I haven't talked about, but, you know, it is what it is. I'll try to keep up on it in the future, so thank you all very... excuse me. Yes, that tickle is really bad. As I die, thank you very much for watching, and we will talk to you in the next video. Come on. Stop recording. Hello, computer.